the thing that strikes one, first of all, looking at the first yellow card, is why is he so high up the pitch?
I would try and make the... I think because his confidence is so low, sometimes I think from a defender's point of view, they're probably thinking if I can put a good challenge in on somebody, it would just maybe help their form or their bit of confidence. But this goes back to his decision-making, why he feels he needs to make that tackle so high up the pitch. And, of course, this second, his touch here, he's in trouble as soon as he takes his first touch. And I have loads of sympathy for Maguire. Obviously, whatever's going on in his head, it's all over the place. You could see with him, as soon as he sees the red card coming out, you know, you have to have sympathy for him, but...
He gets a good portion of the ball, doesn't he? But I suppose
the follow-through.
The follow-through.
That can still hurt someone, you see, so that's why he's probably got sent off for that. You know,
now, this is interesting as he walks off, because Gareth Southgate is a man who cares about his players, obviously very deeply. But he didn't look at him, he didn't give him a tap on the backside, you know, bad luck.
Gareth mentioned that he's got the full support, but I think sometimes in a situation like that where he knows Harry's obviously having a really tough time on and off the pitch, I think a pat in the back there would have certainly helped him, considering he knows exactly how low the player is at the moment. A pat in the back, I think, would have said a lot.
Would you want to be taken out of the team? If you were going back to Manchester United this weekend, they're at Newcastle, would you actually want to say, I'm all over the place here, leave me out for a bit?
No, I think you have to play. The only downside for Maguire at the moment, to me, he's gone back to, obviously, a Man United team that's not full of confidence. Certainly the back four is not in great form. I've been in situations before. I've been in Harry's situation. I've been in dressing rooms with Man United, but I was in a dressing room with brilliant characters and brilliant leaders. So even if I done something silly or was having a hard time on or off the pitch, I was going back into probably, I felt, the best dressing room in the world. Lads who would carry it through difficult spells. He's not going to get that. He's gone back to Man United he's playing in the back four.
Well,
I wouldn't be anywhere near these lads, to me, because I don't see them as leaders.
Did you have the same thing when you had a moment, for whatever reason, you went back into the Arsenal dressing room, you thought, I'm back in the family now, they'll look after me?
Yeah, I remember there was, I had an incident at White Hart Lane with my dear friend, I like to say now, David Owls, and the press just went crazy with me. Obviously, it's not as bad as what, unfortunately, what Harry Maguire's had, but like, I did feel like they were hounding and they're putting that kind of pressure on you. But I was in a dressing room with people like Tony Adams and people like that, David Rocas, Michael Todd, all these guys, and you feel like you're in a bosom. You're kind of like protected, so you can get on with what you're doing. I felt like I was okay.
Yeah, again, Roddy, you said that there's different characters in the games now, but it's like lads you want to be in trenches with. And what I had, I'm sure Riley the same at Arsenal, when at United, lads who'd have your back. As simple as that.
There's always somebody, isn't there? Whatever the game, whatever the sport, whatever the team, there's somebody that everybody bangs the drum about. It's Jack Grealish at the moment. He's played 14 competitive minutes for England. That was in Denmark. Didn't play at all the last two games. Are England crying out for Jack Grealish, for something different, for the X factor?
I'd have probably been disappointed if I was him, seeing different people getting warmed up to come on. And you can't blame him for trying to bring on Calvert-Lewin in his form, Jadon Sancho in the form that we know that he can show. But I would have liked to have seen him come on because, you know, he brought Jordan Henderson on, fine. But the fact is, bring him on. We needed some creativity in the middle, because when it went to the 4-3-2, and you can't do that long diagonal ball, you need to be able to pass it through. Even when it went to 4-2-3, you still can't do this long diagonal ball, what we were doing, which we got some joy on the right-hand side with Mason Mount, who I thought had a good game today alongside Reece James. But you need creativity. Bring him on. You know, bring the guy who's man of the match against Wales, sat out 2 games, and you need that creativity, someone who can run with the ball, who can pass the ball through. He's not afraid in any situation on the pitch up there to show for the ball and try and make something happen.
Are you a bit baffled, or is that too strong?
No, I am intrigued that, you know, you're talking about Grealish. Okay. Yeah, you know, again, you've said he's played 14 minutes of competitive football for England, and yet all of a sudden, I know Riley loves him, and we all think he's got a chance of being a really good player. He's like the messiah for England. England have made a lot of excuses for tonight. I'm telling you, I wish they'd manned up after the game and said, listen, we didn't do enough. Let's give credit to Denmark. They're a good, well-established international team, and I thought they were a better team with 11, and obviously even against England, they were a better team.
If he plays the attacking players in that team, an attacking midfield player, there was nothing for me in that Denmark side that we couldn't beat. I'm not saying that a canter, but we can beat. We were very pragmatic, the team, what he picked. I don't know where the creativity was going to come from the midfield. It was going to come from Conor Cody spreading it wide, hopefully...
But Jack will get his time. There's other games coming up. And Gareth, from a manager's point of view, Gareth would have been thinking, well, 1-0 down, we're still in the game, we just need one chance. And Jack will have to be patient.
We'll find out if he's the Messiah or a very naughty boy.